The character no one was expecting has just dropped on My Hero One's Justice. Present Mike is here and he's using his voice not only to announce each round, but also to decimate the opposition. Today we're gonna take a look at the character, what he brings to the table, is he worth your money and all of that good stuff. We're gonna look at all of his moves, but I don't know why. Because literally all you need is jumping attack, and also jumping attack, and also jumping attack, and jumping attack. Let's not forget jumping attack, and last but not least, jumping attack. I guess it's cool that it can also drop some boxes, just like today's sponsor, Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post is a monthly membership club that sends you awesome boxes full of top shelf goods from under the radar brands. Every month, Bespoke Post introduces its members to cool new products, usually outdoor gear, barware, home and kitchen goods, and it's all based on a preference quiz that you fill out when you first join. A few months back, they sent me the Weekender. This is still my traveling bag of choice. Whenever I need to go anywhere, this is where I pack my stuff. Previously, they sent me the Terra box, which included this blade, a detox scrub bar made of activated charcoal, and an ingeniously simple bird call. Every box has at least a $70 retail value, but you only pay $45. And on top of that, Bespoke Post is giving you a 20% discount off of your first box if you follow the link down below and enter promo code Globku20 at checkout. And don't you worry, the box that you're getting every month isn't random. They let you preview what the contents of the box are, so if you don't like it, you can just swap it for something else. Or even skip the month entirely with no charge. You only pay for the stuff that you want. So my advice is follow the link down below, enter code Globku20 at checkout to get 20% off your first box and just get some cool stuff in the mail. Thank you Bespoke Post for sponsoring this video. But let's check out the character's moves. First up, his attacks on the ground. On the ground he has a 3-hit combo. If you just press the attack button 3 times, he does that. Little shimmy at the end. The shimmy lasts for a very long time, but you can actually just cancel it at any time. So it's literally just some BM. This character has the best BM in the game, hands down. You may have noticed that I dealt some more damage on that second time. That's because I'm mashing the attack button. If you mash the attack button, it gets some more hits and deals some more damage. The downside is if you let it rock all the way, you won't be able to extend into anything. There is a sweet spot though where you mash the attack button and you can still cancel into other moves, and that's going to be the difference between an okay present Mike and an optimal present Mike. In the air, you already saw it. Jumping attack, it's only one move, but like that bounce is so huge that you can just loop this forever by jump canceling and dodge canceling and dash canceling for free too. You can link 9 of these together in a row. And then if you want to call an assist, you can just keep going forever. And I mean, it doesn't literally go on forever, but it goes on for such a long time that it might as well be an infinite. Because one of this character's gimmicks is that he just has very, very low meteor value. To put it in simple terms, meteor is when you're dealing so much damage that the combo is just forced to break. It does that little blast sound indicating that, yeah, you've reached your limit. Present Mike just doesn't have it. So you can extend something like this for a very, very long time. His unblockable attack is one of the best in the game. Look at the range on this thing. It's insane. It's so good, and you can totally combo after it too. And by the way, just the size of his attack buttons alone, like look at the size and the range on these attack buttons. They're so good for punishing opponents, and very often they will also catch the opponent's assists. His buttons might be the best in the game, hands down. But yeah, that's his unblockable. Then we have his yellow attacks. The yellow attack on the ground puts him in the air, and the yellow attack in the air is very similar. It also leaves him in the air. They can both be linked into several quirks, so they're wonderful as a pressure tool as well as a combo tool. The ground yellow attack in particular, because it jumps up in the air so high, you will very often be dodging opponent's attacks while armored. So it is an amazing yellow attack too. And then we have his quirks. First up, Loud Voice with quirk 1. That's just a big blast, close range. Not a lot of range on this one. It works on the ground or in the air, but it's mostly a combo tool, and it is definitely a combo finisher. I mean, maybe you can extend it with assists, but it is very hard to extend it with a dash cancel or anything. It's just very hard. I'm gonna break the rules of our character reviews right now. Usually I would show you Tilt Quirk 1, but instead I'm gonna show you Quirk 2, which is this one. Because it is very similar to Quirk 1. The difference is Present Mike will lunge forward before hitting the opponent. It also works on the ground as well as in the air. And there's another big difference to this, which is you can actually dash cancel this one. No problem. So what's the point of the first one, you ask? If it doesn't have the range and you can't dash cancel it, why would I use that ever? The reason for that is damage. 4100 damage raw with quirk 1 versus 2800 damage with quirk 2. The thing is, even in a simple combo like this, I'm just gonna do jumping attack into tilt attack into quirk 1. That is 5.5. And then the same thing, but with quirk 2 in the end, that is 5.4. The difference becomes negligible when scaling is applied. This is my least favorite thing about this character. Usually my hero characters are so creative and they give you so many tools to mess around with that having these two abilities behave so similarly is kind of a letdown. I wish one of them was replaced by something a bit more unique, but hey, it's the character we're getting. A bit of a waste if you ask me. The rest of the character is pretty cool though. If you ignore the jumping attack, jumping attack, jumping attack. But let's talk Tilt Quirk 1. This is a very long-range projectile and it curves towards the opponent. You aim it manually with the stick by tilting the stick in any direction, or you can just shoot it straight at the opponent as well. Once again, it works in the air or on the ground. In the air, I found it super hard to aim actually, because it takes into account your position relative to the camera and relative to the opponent, so sometimes it's hard. That said, you can do Tilt Quirk 1 and then let go of the stick right away and it will automatically just shoot it straight. The thing is, if you let go too fast, it will just shoot Quirk 1 instead of Tilt Quirk 1, and that can be kind of messy. It's an amazing zoning tool. That said, this is not Hawk's feathers, because Hawks can throw feathers and then run behind them. Present Mike just cannot do anything until the waves are gone. He can't even dash cancel them, even on hit or block. He just cannot do anything. This is a combo finisher and a zoning tool that's just gonna give you the projectile damage and nothing else. And finally, Tilt Quirk 2, we gotta talk about it for a little bit. So, if you just tap the Quirk button while tilting the stick, you're gonna put a box down. You can put up to 3 boxes, and then if you hold the Quirk 2 button while tilting the stick, he's gonna trigger those boxes and shoot out some shockwaves. Now, you can also hold the button while having no boxes, and all he will do is do a little pose. This is my favorite line he says, by the way. I know he's saying high pitch, but it just sounds like something else. Now, if you tilt the stick downwards or left or right, he puts down these horizontal boxes, but if you tilt the stick forwards, he puts up a vertical box, and this has a different behavior when triggered from the other boxes. So let's start with the horizontal ones. A horizontal box, when triggered, if it hits the opponent, it does a little stun animation, kind of like gyro sound waves, but the vertical box, while it actually looks like gyro sound waves, it doesn't do as big of a stun. You can put up to 3 boxes. Any combination of boxes will do. Once you trigger them, they all go. Now, you can only put boxes while you are on the ground, but you can trigger them while you are in the air as well. There are some interesting properties to these boxes. I'm calling them boxes. Should I just call them speakers? That's what they are. There's some interesting properties to these speakers. If you put down a speaker and you get hit, the speaker still stays there. However, if you trigger the speaker, even if the sound waves start coming out, as soon as you're hit, the sound waves will disappear. So you cannot use this as a counter to an opponent that's approaching you. The sound waves will not save you from a combo. Also, both of these speakers have some obvious weaknesses. The horizontal one just simply does not catch airborne opponents. Anyone who is jumping is going to avoid those shockwaves no problem. As for the vertical speaker, it will only shoot forwards in the position that you placed it. So if the opponent happens to run behind it or on the side, then it will not hit them anymore. Now let's talk about its plus ultras. First, plus ultra 1 has him jumping up in the air, which could work as a nice reversal in some situations. He shoots audio waves down and then it's a big explosion. Look at the area that covers. You can totally call an assist during the plus ultra 1 to extend your combo to. And then of course you go into the loops for some massive damage. And who knows, even finish it with a plus ultra 2. This, by the way, is one of the best looking plus ultra 2s in the game.
Yeah, baby. All right. The voice I saved.
And there you go, easy 24,000 damage combo. Kind of expensive, but hey, not super hard to do. His assist is pretty unique. On the ground, you summon him, he does a little dance, and then he fills up a full ladder of your plus ultra meter. Now keep in mind that the assist can still be hit mid-match, just like any other assist, and if he gets hit before he does the full dance, he won't give you anything. But yeah, he doesn't attack, it doesn't do anything like that, it just gives you a full ladder of meter. So if your character is someone that has a lot of dash cancels, it's a meter-intensive character, this could actually be a good pick. In the air, it does his Quirk 2 move and knocks the opponent away. I think some characters will have an easy time extending with this, but it's going to be very character specific. The character has a 30-second cooldown as an assist, or 15 seconds for half a bar when you call him as an actual assist, meaning he has a medium cooldown. And at first glance, that seems fair, but I could definitely see him getting away with having a short cooldown as well. Present Mike's strengths are very obvious. He's got one of the best red attacks in the game, he's got the best buttons in the game, and he can go into the air from pretty much any situation, which leads runs into that dreaded loop. Now, this loop just looks like something that will get fixed next patch, but as usual, we're gonna have to wait a few months and we're just gonna have to deal with this. They finally fixed Shinso, by the way, so I totally believe that this loop will also get fixed, but probably only when the next DLC drops. And if you want to punish a Plus Ultra 1 that misses, you're actually gonna have to practice it a little bit, because even if the first audio waves miss, the explosion is still gonna happen. So you're gonna have to hit practice mode and figure out how to punish that. Now, even if you didn't have the loop, the jumping attack button is huge. Like, it has a disjointed hitbox. It is enormous. It's very good for winning air-to-air battles, for sure. And its yellow attack just dodges so many things because it jumps up into the air that it ends up being a very good counter tool. I think both this Quirk 1 and Quirk 2 are fine. I mean, you only needed one of them, but they're mostly combo tools. Tilt Quirk 1 being that big projectile is one of the best projectiles in the game, but also the fact that he can't dash cancel it means that if it's dodged, it can be very unsafe. And it's also a little bit finicky and hard to aim. If you could actually dash cancel this, then it would be a big problem. The way it is right now, I think it's a solid tool. Not busted in any way. It's something that he definitely needs. As for the speakers, you're gonna have to practice a little bit to make them work as setups to apply pressure when the opponent gets up. The thing is, if the opponent blocks the shockwaves that come out of your speakers, there's pretty much no blocks done. So if they just block it, they're not encouraged to continue blocking. They can usually just smash out of it. I don't think they're an amazing zoning tool, even the vertical speakers that travel quite a bit, but what they are amazing for is neutral, because you can just shoot those waves and run at your opponent safely. See, if the opponent lets you plant 3 speakers, then hey, it's free neutral. But overall, the way I feel about this character is that this is the most biking DLC that I've ever seen. Which is to say, hey, they made something new, they made something unique. Once again, they surprised us with innovation and a character playstyle that I'm not gonna say wasn't available in the game before, but it's like he's grabbing little things from different characters and mixing them into a unique formula. But at the same time, biking being biking, they released this character and it just feels like he wasn't play tested at all. This is day 0 of the DLC, and it just wasn't hard to find this loop at all. I think this makes Present Mike boring to play as, and also super boring to fight against. I don't think it is broken to the point that Present Mike will be banned from tournaments, but that's for the competitive community to decide, of course. But because the combo takes so long to do, the opponent always has assists to break it at some point. That said, I think it removes a crucial part of My Hero 1's justice. When you are getting comboed by an opponent, you as the player can make the decision to break the combo because you don't want to take that damage, or just choose to take that damage and save your assist because you think that damage is not going to be a problem, or you need the assist more than you need your health. That's a choice that you are actively making every time you get hit in this game, and that is a choice that you simply do not have when playing against Present Mike, because if he touches you, he's gonna be comboing you forever. I think giving a character very low meteor values so their combos don't break is an interesting gimmick, but you can't just give them free loops like this if that's the case. You gotta require him to use resources like assists or meter to extend the combos as much as he wants to, but this is just free, and it's actually generating meter while doing this. Another thing Present Mike has, and I'm not sure if I should call this a gimmick or not, but he simply cannot get wall splats. None of his abilities wall splat, so that's one of the character's downsides, I guess. But yeah, he absolutely did not need the loops. He has some of the best buttons in the game. If the loops were gone, this character would still be fine. Personally, I think it's pretty strong, but time will tell. We'll see how the meta develops. We'll see what players can figure out with him.
So close.
Player 2 wins! This commentary brought to you by Present Mike.
And I simply cannot end this video without saying thanks to Kuro, Draco Wolf, and Kara Darla. These 3 members of the My Hero community helped me out because I was having trouble launching the game on PC and unlocking the character. If it wasn't for them, you guys wouldn't have a video today, so thank you so much. Now, is he worth your money? Yeah, I think so. If you're into My Hero 1's Justice 2, it definitely feels different. He also feels competitive. I just wish his Quirk 1 and Quirk 2 abilities were a bit more different, and obviously I wish he didn't have the loops. But those are my thoughts on Present Mike. If you've seen some gameplay or tried out the character yourself, let me know what you thought of him in the comments down below. And don't forget about today's sponsor. Follow the link down below and enter code Globku20 at checkout to get 20% off your first bespoke post box. And as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku and I'll see you next time. Bye!